Hey everyone, Dr. Rieder here, and I am super excited to be telling you about a new training we have coming out. If I'm honest with you, we have been completely inundated with chiropractors from all over the world getting hold of us, find out what are we doing right now during these really challenging times, during lockdown, pre-lockdown, post-lockdown, and we're kind of a little ahead of the curve, and I'll tell you why. A, we're in Europe, so now we're just starting to come out of our lockdown, we're starting to see our results, and B, we've been testing. I've got 8 practices myself. We've been testing this in my practices, and my entire mentorship group, docs from around the world, have been testing it, and the results are in. They're phenomenal. And we've had so many people contact us for help and support. Honestly, we've been inundated that I'm actually going to hold a full week's training on exact strategies that we've used to launch, relaunch our practices, and that my students are using, and they are killing it with these strategies. So I'm going to run over an entire week. We're going to do a 3-part training. Would love you to join us for it. I've also invited some of our good friends. Mr. Les Brown's joining us. We also have a legend, Tracy, joining us. We also have Dr. John Demartini joining us. The reason I've chosen these particular individuals, A, they're absolute legends upon legends, and most importantly, they've lived through many financial crises and crises in the past, and they're going to give us some gold. So it's going to be a 3-part training the first week of June. Would love it if you joined us for that, and I'm going to give you everything I got. So I'm just going to read a little bit about what I'm going to be covering. Over the 3-part trainings, and there's going to be live trainings in between. We'll have a private Facebook group that I'm going to be teaching live into that. Getting my students to teach to you also on top of that, so that you can get it from the horse's mouth, if you will. So here's what we're going to be covering. In the first session, I'm going to be covering reactivations. I truly believe right now, new customer acquisition is going to be at an all-time hardest and lowest. So we really need to make sure that we mine the goal right under our nose, which is our existing patient list, our existing schedule. So we've got 3 reactivation strategies I'm going to be teaching you, but just to give you an understanding of a little bit more in depth, we have an email reactivation strategy, we have a text reactivation strategy, and we have a telephone reactivation strategy that is working like gangbusters for us at the moment, and I really want to be able to teach those to you. I'm going to give you exactly what I got. I'm going to break down that session into, first and foremost, like I've just spoken about, who you should be isolating. It's not about sending it the way everyone goes wrong. It's not about sending a list and an email to an entire list. You can't be doing that. You have to have segments. Who do you segment? How do you segment them? I'm going to be giving you all of that. And lastly, I'm also going to be showing you what you're going to be offering in, or positioning your offer in these times. There's a little sneaky little trick that I actually found by mistake by being in the game myself. And when I say that you have an incredible uptake, it's insane. I've never seen responses like this. I'll just tell you some of the results. One of my inner circle members, first full week back in practice after lockdown in one of the most heavily locked down places on the planet. They're seeing 300 a week, first full week back from lockdown. One of my other members has got 90 reactivations, paid reactivations within lockdown period. So when they get back in the diary, they've got 90 new. That's react for new olds. These are people that have not been currently under care, that are back under care. Isn't that incredible? So people have dropped out of care that are not now back in. Now imagine being able to do that right now before you open. Have 90 new ones in the schedule before you start. That's the first module. Our second module we're going to be running through is more a sales and conversion module. The reason I say sales and conversion is because you better understand that we're about to go into the mother of all economic crashes, the mother of all recessions. If you're not giving at least some thought to repositioning your offer, how you structure it, how you position that, and how you even pre-frame that prior to making any type of offer, if you will, then you're going to lose a lot of money and leave a lot of money on the table. We've already been teaching these strategies and tweaking our strategies. It requires tweaking. Don't get me wrong. Don't think you can go straight back into practice. Everything's going to be normal. It ain't. Why? Because there's going to be a lot of fear in the marketplace, and you have to be able to, you can actually leverage that in some way, shape, or form to position yourself to make it more irresistible to do business with you. But I'll teach you the psychology of that. Remember, none of us wanted this, but it is a reality right now, and we have to pivot to make sure that we position better. So we're also going to be running through, I'll give you some strategies, and then a small tweaks you need to be made. Let me give you some, if you will, results from the ground. One of my inner circle members, just trying these strategies within the first week, bought an extra $10,000. We have one of my other members who's got over 100% conversion with some of these strategies we brought in. And we're just coming out of it now. So a couple of my members opened last week and they brought in $4,500 worth of collections the first 2 days back. Now, when you had no business, you've got rent to pay. I can tell you what, right now, $4,500 to $5,000 worth of collections in the first 2 day backs helps a lot. If you want to find out how we did that, just register. We'll teach you everything. And in the third module, I'm going to run through what I truly believe is going to be going into one of the hardest phases in the history of our practices to generate new customers. You're going to have to use more strategies. I tell you what's not going to work. Lunch and learns. They ain't going to work for a while. Dinner with the docs. They ain't going to work for a while. You understand, even driving people to workshops in your practice, they ain't going to work for a while. Screenings, they ain't going to work for a while. So we have to pivot, right? And how we've been pivoting is we've been using telehealth or virtual consults as a form of lead generation. Not necessarily changing our practice and not operating like that long term, but as a front end, we've been testing that aggressively and working at our cost per leads, etc. And it's working. It's going well. Let me give you one of my Inner Circle members' results. 53 new patient leads during lockdown. They come back, 53 new patients, right? Another one is getting over 60% conversion of these leads. So it's working. If you want to find out how to do this, just click on the link and register for our week-long training. We're going to do 3 modules with my good friends Les Brown, Brian Tracy, and John Demartini, teaching live on those, by the way. And then in between the sessions, I'm actually going to be giving you real-life examples and Q&A with my members so that you can really hone these skills, you can really make it work. And I'm calling it this week to make sure that you have the best relaunch you've ever could possibly have. We've got this stuff nailed down. This is not theory. We're probably just ahead of the curve because we're in Europe. Nobody else has been able to give you results. I'm giving you results. This is not theory. This is working right now. Register on the link below. I'm so excited to spend the week with you, and we'll make sure that you have the best launch ever. We've been inundated with queries, and we really feel that this is our responsibility to teach this stuff. So click on the link. Spend a full week with us. I'm going to teach you exactly how to relaunch your practice. You can have my team becomes your team. My Inner Circle members become your helpers in that period. And we're going to do it with you over that period, walk you through the whole process. And I hope to see you there. Click on the link. Join us for the first week of June. 3-part module training, 3 times that week. And then from there, we'll be doing lives into the group, etc., to make sure you get the most support you possibly get. Click on the link. See you there.